folks, welcome back to another magical episode of Whining About Pest Control with Shell. I am, of course, Shelby Hartzer, your host of 360 Pest Consulting. And today we are going to whine about one of my favorite pests. We're going to whine about Indian male moth, one of the most prolific food pests we have and that I deal with. So lighter pest, little fluttering moths. I've got a lighter white today, nice Chardonnay, so cheers. This one is so good. All right, let's back up a step. Talk about stored product pests. These are often called pantry pests because they're found in the pantry with the food. We generally refer to this group of insects as those who really actively want the foods that we have. Unlike cockroaches, flies, rodents that are really more scavengers of what's out there, stored product insects will really seek out our food. Some of them can even penetrate through packaging, and they will thoroughly infest a site. Now, it's not a totally black and white delineation. There's overlap with insects and rodents, but Indian male moth are definitely considered a stored product pest. I was told one time that Indian male moth are the most prolific pest in retail stores and homes. Now, I've never been able to verify that with science or any statistics, but from my own personal experience and from what I see on the internet and in social media groups, that could very likely be true. I have found Indian male moth in food processing sites, food storage sites, feed facilities, so animal feed, pet stores, restaurants, airports, museums, so many more sites. Really, anywhere there is food, there is the potential for these pesky little moths. These are often found in dry goods, so our cereals, nuts, dried fruits, pet food, but really there's so many different food sources that they can feed and develop on. One of the weirdest ones I ever found them on was probably these little hard candies like Jolly Rancher candies. I also ran a trial back when I was in research and found they could develop on ground coffee. Yet another reason I drink wine instead. All right, let's get to whining about the control aspect. The challenge with Indian male moth is finding the source that they're in. Much easier said than done, particularly if it's an infestation situation. And let's be honest, most of the time we get called in, it's already an infestation. Residential situations, it is possible to get the homeowner to really clean out the pantry, do that deep clean, get all the little crumbs and everything. It gets tricky because there are often food resources that are hidden, overlooked. Birdseed, big huge bags of 50-pound pet food that are left in the garage open right outside the kitchen door. Could be food that's dropped behind the refrigerator, the stove. Could be a wall void. I dealt with a situation once where mice had cached all these nuts behind a wall void in a kitchen island. We found it after pulling out the dishwasher. We saw the hole, we saw the droppings. That whole thing had to be torn down to get to that food source, get it out, and deal with the Indian male moth. Commercial sites are a whole different story. It can be a lot harder to find the source because you have a lot of food. Sometimes it's easy. I had a grain elevator, and when we popped the top hatches of those silos, we could tell exactly which silos were infested because you get this little cloud of moss that would come up out of the infested ones. Even if it's easy like that, it's not like they can completely remove and clean all the food that's in there. Good luck telling, a chocolate manufacturer, hey, can you just get rid of all your chocolate here? Yeah, just get rid of all of it. No, not gonna happen. That doesn't mean you shouldn't inspect, find those infested products, have the site remove them, dispose of them, reinforce that sanitation is essential. Pheromone monitors are going to be your best friend in this situation because they're going to show you where those hot spots are, those key areas to hone in on for treatments and inspections. Let's be clear, if that infestation is inside product, inside raw ingredients or finished product, unless those are removed away from the site, outside the building, the problem is going to keep coming back because these things develop in about 25 to 30 days. As usual, there's so much more I can whine about with Indian male moth and stored product pests in general, and I will in future episodes. So stay tuned for that. You can always whine to me about your stored product pests. Reach out anytime to see how I can help you. We've got some helpful resources down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on any of this great whining. Until next time, cheers to Indian male moth.